Get up, get out, and get moving.
Here is what happened on the latest edition of Morning Glory.
Simon Napier Bell is my special guest in the studio today, and a man who's been in the music business for many, many years, and all different aspects, and has got so many stories. You managed the Yardbirds, and you kind of like invented rock. Or you claim to have invented the word.
I didn't claim to invent rock.
I saw it
what
the
I
other
said
day,
was that the Yardbirds were the first group which had the word rock used about them, which wasn't me. It was an American music critic whose name I've completely forgotten at the moment. And in a piece he wrote about their first album, he used the word rock and heavy metal.
But before that was always rock and roll, wasn't it?
Rock didn't come into 1967. You can remember rock. I wrote the other day about this. I was at the New Musical Express Award winners concert at Wembley in 1965, and the top groups on the bill were the Beatles, the Stones, the Yardbirds, the Who, the Kinks. It was just everybody. And none of those groups were called rock groups. They were called beat groups. And after beat groups, the word pop came in. So pop was newer and trendier than beat. And then rock didn't come in until 1967. And most of these groups who then called themselves rock groups, like The Who, only 2 years ago had been eagerly trying to get people to call them pop groups instead of beat groups. So rock was at the end of an evolution, but it was something different. And the Yardbirds really did create the music. It was that riff, it was the idea of taking blues and then instead of making them very heavy, and they played blues music. But actually what the Yardbirds did, they played blues music complete with a harmonica. You used to hear Muddy Waters riffs and Keith Relf played a harmonica. What Zeppelin did, which was what the Yardbirds transitioned into.
Because Jimmy Page was in the Yardbirds.
I put Jimmy Page in the Yardbirds. What he started to do was take that harmonica riff and play it on guitar and double it on the bass guitar. And so suddenly this very bluesy feel became a very harsh, hard feel. And so that's really Zeppelin's music. But it evolved, and the image of rock really didn't come from the Yardbirds. So the image of rock came from the Rolling Stones. The image of rock was really invented by Andrew Oldham, who was the Stones manager, who taught them to be totally antisocial, tell journalists to piss off, and not talk to them, and did everything they could possibly do to be rude to people. So the imagery came from the Stones, the music came from the Yardbirds, and the group which really put it together magnificently was Zeppelin.
Live on 96 FM Morning Glory. FM